Hello everyone, Patrick here, and today we are going to be looking at the savior of Cybertron, Quintesson Spherim, you love him, Transformers 1, Sentinel Prime. Yeah, I got the asshole. Before we actually take a look at Sentinel himself, this is my makeshift landing gear, let's take a look at his box. Yeah. It looks exactly the same as Wasp's box, and, everyone else's box. Except the banner is a different color, and it says Studio Series instead. Yeah. It's not a bad box, you can see my reflection in it. You know, got some nice artwork there of Sentinel. This side, that artwork just continues because this isn't part of Age of the Primes, so it doesn't have the Age of the Primes artwork. Back of the box. Obligatory product shots, seen from the movie. We have his bio. Sentinel Prime is the leader of Iacon City and fights to save Cybertron from the Quintessons. Sure. But yeah, this side, that same piece of artwork with Sentinel Prime. Up top, Transformers 1 Sentinel Prime. Bottom, words, things, whatever. I bounced off my couch before hitting the floor. Anyway, let's take a look at Sentinel in a form that he never appeared in the movie. Yeah, he never transformed into vehicle mode in the movie. Weird. But yeah, as, who was it? TJ Omega pointed out, this kind of feels like a Dirge, like Dirge's alt mode. But, you know. It looks good, except for the fact the head is just hanging out there. Oh, and the fact you can see the entire body like that. Oh, well, this is still a really fun and neat figure. He does come with accessories. Not the ones you would want, considering, you know, what he used in the movie, but, you know. Comes with a pair of guns, which you can attach using this little tab right here, and, this little tab right here. You know, you can give him more guns, which is nice. He comes with a pink shield, which is entirely painted. Yeah. And there's a slot right there. You know, or tab slot. You know, just have that on. And yeah, and not the best weapon storage, but not bad. I would have much preferred, instead of a shield and guns, he came with the sword he used to kill Nexus Prime and Alpha Trion with. Spoilers for the movie, by the way. But yeah, I would have much preferred he came with those. You can also put the guns on top of the shield like this, and, you know, still store it up here if you want. I don't know, half the time I just ignore the fact that the shield exists, so. Shit, I need that for robot mode. Ugh. But anyway, yeah, it looks cool. Even with the fact you can see the entire robot underneath. There is a reason his transformation is so simple and shit, but we'll get down to that when we get to robot mode. But yeah, see, he has a nice gold cockpit right there, or gold windshield, I guess. Some blue stripes that are broken up by the palm, whatever. The stronger type of plastic, so it doesn't break. Yeah. For comparison, here he is with the only other Transformers 1 figure I own. Mainline Deluxe Optimus. Yeah. I mean, unless you count blockies. But, which I do have a blockies for comparison, but I'm going to show that for robot mode. speaking of robot mode, I think we've basically gone over everything in jet mode. So let's get down to said robot mode. What you want to do is you're going to want to untab the arms from there. You're going to want to lift up the wings like that. Kind of bring them out a bit. Fold down these little tail fins. You're going to want to bend him right here so you can bring this section up on a double hinge. And just make sure that's all nice and done. You're going to want to bring these out and bring them up, just so you can kind of see how that hinge works. Kind of see how that hinge works. Like that. I don't know what my dog's knocked over. I'm not going to deal with it right now. Yes, there's the wings. You're then going to want to take the cockpit and bring it down. There's a slot right there. The tab's in right there. So just tab that in. You can bring the wings back so you have a little bit of room to shift the shoulders upwards. You can then slide his, these extra little jet boosters down to reveal his hands. You can then bring the boosters back like this. You can flip them in, bring up the toes. The jet boosters, you're technically supposed to do this, but if you do that, he doesn't have heels, and he'll just fall backwards. So you can flip, go ahead and flip these out, and he stands perfectly stable and has heels. Then what you're going to want to do is, hope you didn't pop the mask off, rotate his head around like this. And there we go. We have Transformers 1 Sentinel Prime in robot mode. Yeah. He looks really cool. I kind of agree with Prime vs. Prime that he has a slight resemblance to Homelander from The Boys. And that makes a lot of sense, actually. Is his forearm set up all the way? Yeah, okay. Yeah, so let's get a look at that head sculpt. That is dead on to how he looked in the movie. He has very long arms, but he did in the movie too. Got some nice lighter blue, some gold. He is supposed to have gold on his arms, but he doesn't. Oh well. Yeah, you can angle the wings however you want. And, yeah. So, for articulation, like I said, you can flap the wings, bring them up, whatever. His head rotates a full 360, because it has to for transformation. You can look up, not that far. His arms are on ball joints, and the ball joint is, like, right here. Which makes it a little weird looking when you move his arm, but, they can do a full 360 and go out about that far. You have bicep rotation, 90 degree, well, slightly under 90 degree bend at the elbow, and nothing at the wrist. Waist. You can't rip him in half unless you undo some screws on his ass, so that's a shame, but they included another really cool feature from the movie, so I'm okay with you not being able to rip him in half. You can kick forward, that far, back, that far, or outwards, that far. You have a thigh rotation. You have 90 degree bend at the knee that doesn't do a hell of a lot because of how long his thigh is and how long his shin is, but that's just how he looked in the movie. And you do have breakage levels of ankle tilt, and the toe can move down, the heel can move up if you want. So, yeah. If you want to attach his, weapons, of course he can hold the guns, but, you You can also just put him on the shield like this. So, yeah. For comparison, here he is with mainline Deluxe Optimus, which I think that's about right scaling for Orion Pax and Sentinel. I think that's actually alright scaling. And here he is with Blocky's D16. Which, that's about the scale between him and Minor Megatron, or Minor D16, so, you know. But, yeah. Now, that's not all you can do with this figure. Because if you've seen the movie, you remember, he had, like, to put it the way that Toy Guy did, a Phase 2 Final Boss mode. And you can replicate that with this figure. So, I usually start by, you know, bringing the wings back, like that. Bringing the thrusters out, and bring the toes down. If you want him to stand, you have to leave it like this, but if you have a stand, you can do that. I don't have a stand, so do that. Come back here. Open these up, and flip out these guns. He is a little bit taller now, so I'm going to have to raise my camera a little bit. You're going to want to slide this forearm down. You can do both forearms. You know, obviously for transformation, both his forearms do slide down like that. But in the movie, because he had the shield and guns on this one, he didn't slide this, you know, have this one turn. But, you know, you can angle his pecs. Come into here, bring out these guns, which you can use in jet mode if you want. You know, do that. And last but not leastly, come to this section and make sure the head is kind of straighter on so you can get it out. Use this little lip right here to bring out the battle mask, and there we have Sentinel in his battle mode. And that does give him a little bit extra height, if you want to, you know, if you want to see, you know, it turns him from, you know, deluxe height to Voyager height, so, which is really cool. And, you know, it gives you more detail. I do kind of wish these guns were gray, because that's how they were in the movie, but, you know. Yeah, no. Does reveal a little bit more detail in there, but, you know. And that mask. Yeah, this is cool. That is just really freaking cool. So, yeah, that is the Transformers 1 Studio Series Sentinel Prime. Honestly, my favorite out of the Transformers 1 figures. I mean, that's not saying a lot, considering, you know, the only ones I have are D, Optimus, and the Blocky's Death Tracker. But still, he is definitely really cool. If you want this figure for yourself, eBay, Amazon, Walmart, wherever you can normally find Transformers figures. But yeah, so guys, if you like this video, leave a like, comment down below, subscribe, and I will see you all next time.